Hi, welcome to Trendy Talks. Today we're going to be doing a video game review for the new PS4 port of Mount & Blade Warband. So, Mount & Blade, if you've been paying attention to any sub-trending videos, basically any single one of them, I talk about Mount & Blade a lot. It's probably my favorite video game series, and I'm so glad that it's been brought to consoles finally. If you don't know anything about it, Mount & Blade is just kind of a historical reimagining, maybe kind of a low fantasy sandbox game where you just go around and kind of do whatever you want. You can create a giant army and attack castles, you can woo princesses, go raid villages. Which of those things is not like the other? I don't know, I'll let you decide. So yeah, there's a couple different game modes in Mount & Blade. The first is multiplayer, and I tried that, and I was horrible at it. So I'm just gonna not even talk about that too much. The one thing I will say is that the servers were really empty. I saw maybe 2 games going on at the time that I was in, and the rest just were completely empty. So hopefully over time, maybe we'll see more people starting to play the game, but if not, there's a lot more content that is available still. Another game mode that we have on Mount & Blade Warband is Custom Battle. And that's just kind of you choose the setting, you choose whether you're going to be the aggressor or the defender in a siege, if that's what's going on. And you can choose the amount of people in the battle, what unit types, percentages wise, as well as the hero that you play as. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't really feel like a really console kind of game. It feels really unique for what you would find on a console compared to what you would find on a PC. And the final real bread and butter of the game is the campaign. So in the campaign is really where the sandbox mode kind of opens up, and you just have countless things that you can do, just running around taking cities and whatever you want to do basically. So in the overworld map, you can just kind of traverse between cities, see different lores going around, different groups of peasants, or whatever you want to interact with on the map. Once you interact, typically you'll either go to a village or town where you can talk to the people there, or a battle will start. And battles are pretty cool. The combat is really where Mount & Blade shines. It's a pretty realistic medieval combat on horse or on foot, which is kind of where the name comes from. And it's basically just involves a lot of blocking and parrying, and your attacks are based off of your positioning as well. So if you're kind of opening yourself up to the side, you're going to do more of a side slash. If you're backing up, you'll do more of an overhead slash. In addition to your personal combat, there's also a lot of tactics involved with your troops in Mount & Blade. So for instance, as you can see in this battle here, I have a whole bunch of troops lined up, and I'm just going to go ahead and have my infantry hold their position on this ridge while I send my cavalry in to kind of mop up the guys at the bottom. Meanwhile, my infantry can just kind of hang out, and if they have arrows, they can just kind of shoot them down, maybe Ramsay Bolton style, and mop up all the bad guys down there. Sieges are another really fun thing in the game, and typically if you play the way that I do, you're more the aggressor and taking cities, but you can also defend cities as well. And basically what they revolve around is either getting on a siege tower or ladder and going into a city and just kind of cleaning up everybody inside. It's pretty grim. Now I know I say that Mount & Blade is my favorite game, but I would give it an 8 overall, which is still a really good score. But the reason that I have to dock it a couple points are because, one, there are no mods. And on the PC version, mods are really what keeps the game alive. You get mods for Lord of the Rings, there's Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and it really just makes each modded version its own kind of new experience. In this, you only get the base game, which is still really good, but it just feels infinitely smaller than if you had all of the mods added to it. Additionally, the difficulty curve is a little bit high, which on the PC version you at least have the option to quit before saving often, which kind of makes it a little bit easier, so if you really screw up in a battle or something and lose all your men, you don't end up a penniless wandering hobo. In this version, you don't have the option to quit without saving, so any action you make is pretty much cemented in stone. Finally, the port is actually pretty good. The game actually feels pretty at home on console, and I'm pretty surprised about that. The combat feels fantastic. The only issue, it's a little bit clunky in menu screens sometimes, where you can tell that a mouse was definitely supposed to exist in this game. But overall, I think the port was really well done, and I'm hoping that when Mount & Blade Bannerlord comes out, we end up seeing a port for that as well, so fingers crossed. Alright, so yeah, I'm really glad I've been playing a lot of Mount & Blade this week, and I'm going to continue. And yeah, this is our first review on Trendy Talks. I'm Thomas, signing off.